If you have questions, ask when Jonas is, so you don't forget it if you have any urgent questions.
Yes. This is a picture that we have produced to show complexity of the issue. It's not just to remove the obstacles. It's a lot to think about when you talk about this issue. We have in this city context, we have locals that are living nearby. We have a business that are in this site. We have this water surface that we talked about when we stood at the bridge earlier. And we have to think about what is the improved status after the measure. And of course, a lot of people to talk about and with. Petitions, Water Authority, County Administration, boards, Court of Law, and NGOs, of course. And this is a part of our action that
I miss the fish species composition here.
What's
Where
it?
is the fish on this?
The fish.
Yes, fish species.
Yeah.
It's underwater.
Yes. We talk with the fishes as well. In the theme connectivity, we have 3 actions, and the one that I am manager for is strategies for connectivity, and it's the 5 big administration county boards in this district. We have Västerås, where we are now, Uppsala, Stockholm, Södermanland, and Örebro, which is the county we'll be visiting tomorrow. We have 3 migration strategies for fish in a city context. That's the one we looked at earlier. And we have the 3rd, adoption of hydropower. And I'll talk a little bit more about these 3 projects. In the first one, when we are trying to cooperate with the administrative boards in the district, this is the 5 issues that we are talking about most. We have to identify the key issues and building networks. What are the most important issues that the people that work with this issue think about, and try to create solutions for how to get forward. We want to create a GIS layer to get a view of how the obstacles are placed in the district, so that we can cooperate on which obstacles that is the most important to work with. Working methods, case flows, and prioritization models. We need to get more equal judgments of these issues. And the 4th issue is that how we informate and advise dam owners that is having an obstacle on its own land. We have to gather information from all these other parts and create an information material and advice system so that they go to measures by themselves. And we also have an evaluation of various aspects of tearing out dams, both ecological and economic. How much does it cost? What is the effects of tearing out dams? And for that reason, we have interviewed a number of people. The first study is interviews with dam owners and local residents that are living near a dam to investigate how they think about the measures before and after. And we have come to the conclusion that it was not so bad afterwards that they think it was before. So the water surface was important before, but not so important afterwards. The streaming water is also nice to see. And we have done another interview study with 4 categories. And Lennart was one of those I interviewed. The county administrative boards, the NGOs, water associations, and hydropower companies. And that led us to conclude the key issues of how we should work further on in this project with the connectivity. Picture. And then we have 4 concrete actions, and one of those was the project that we looked at earlier this day. That's Slottsbron. Projects that help us to show how fauna passages can be built with regard to sensitive cultural environments in an urban environment. And one of those was the one we saw, as I said, and one is called Falkenbergska kvarn. And as you saw, those who watched there, you see that is construction in progress. And I promised you a picture of how it should look like when it's finished. And there was where we stood. So the whole construction that we saw should look like this when it's finished. Do you recognize the place? The other side is the Falkenbergska kvarnen in Västerås, and it looked like this today, and it should be looking like this approximately when it's done. It is a fauna passage here coming down to. Then the third connectivity project is called Adoption of Hydropower, and it's the company Mälarenergi that will conduct the measures to help to improve habitats for, among other species, pearl mussels, trout, and asp. And the project will also help raise the level of knowledge about the types of measures that best benefit the threatened species. So it will be kind of a scientist's touch of the project. And what we will work with later on is this cultural environment in water. big interest and a big issue for us that most of the measures are involved with culture in heritage and cultural environment. And migration obstacles in urban environments. We have to learn about the things that happen now in Västerås to so that other cities can learn from what we are doing here and to do their own measures. And you also think about the research and development day on hydropower theme, because there are lots of measures that happen now, and we want them to be so good as it's possible for the fishes and the fauna in general. Yes, and then the theme of eutrophication, an overview. We have 6 actions in this theme, and this is a lot of lyrics. Therefore, I printed it out so you can read it afterwards. I have been theme coordinator for 1 month, 2 months, maybe 1.5 for the theme, so I don't have the total control over it. But there is 6 themes, and one of them are policy instruments to decrease eutrophication from and it's a joint project with the government
Agriculture agency.
Yes. Thank you. And the interests organization for farming and administrative boards. And we are looking at how we can implementing measures to improve water quality according to the water framework in the best possible way. And then the second one, advice on water planning for individuals farms. The thought is to advise farmers on their own farm to create most efficient measures on their own farm according to water and how to reduce eutrophication. River basin and stakeholder approach to decrease eutrophication. We want to build capacity and plan for measures and complementary actions to decrease eutrophication from agricultural land. And this will be a joint project with the last project that I just talked about. And we want a high level of efficiency, activities, and yes, and they will work together as a joint project. Decision support tools to reduce eutrophication from agriculture. There we have the Swedish University of Farming creating tools to foresee where eutrophication is the most severe. What do you say? Severe. Severe, yeah. And how to get to solutions for those places. So it will be map tools, geese tools, and so on. Stormwater solutions. That's the 5th actions in this theme. Best practice and innovation. How we take care of the stormwater in general. To analyze where it's the most pollutant and how to take care of them on the best way. And the 6th one, the last one, multifunctional water parks. And that is how to take care of the stormwater and in the same time create nice places for people to recreate it. And also think about the biological, biologisk,
Biodiversity.
yeah, biodiversity. Thank you.
Excuse me, by stormwaters you understand the local floods due to rainfall and paving the areas.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was what I had to say about that. A question, yes.
You told that one of the activities to investigate, you're making some sort of opinion poll of the hydropower owners, hydropower plant owners.
Yes.
And I just wonder, are they in the scheme that you are proposing them to remove these hydropower plants in the future, or how are you investigating? What is the purpose of your opinion poll? I mean, what do you want to know from them? I mean, whether they would react positively towards the proposal to stop the hydropower and then remove it, or
The hydropower owners have a kind of special situation right now in Sweden because there have been a change in the regulations for them. So they are in some kind of problem. Lennart, you can
We have I will say something about that, but we have a new legislation which is to some extent is updated and modern, but the problem with it is that it doesn't apply polluter pays principle, even if some people say it does. It also separates very clearly small-scale hydropower and large-scale hydropower. So in general, it says that large scales should almost do nothing. Instead, they should pay for a lot of measures in the small scale to make it very short. But I can say more about it later. So I think it's important to differ. In this district, there are very little large-scale hydropower stations. Most of them are small-scale. Some of them are even not profitable, according to prices on electricity and so on today. But there is so much of emotions among people. My father, grandfather's fathers built it. There has been a dam since 1784. I have a painting showing the dam from 1648 or whatever. And that's one thing. The other thing is, in fact, a problem related to authorities in this house and in Sweden in general between cultural heritage and nature conservation. Because cultural heritage doesn't have priorities. Everything is important to make it very short. But that they don't have priority 1, 2, 3 or something like that. Everything is important. So that makes it very hard to do something, because then the cultural heritage people say, no, we have to say this, blah, blah, blah. So this is the situation we have now. No one really knows what will come out of this changed turnabout that we have right now. So well, but I'm a little bit optimistic, but in general, when it comes to large-scale hydropower, pessimistic. So.
And that is addressing this activity. But we will talk about what culture, environment, cultural heritage is important or which is not. So that the people who works with this issue in the administrative board can feel calm safe about how they judge some situations. So that is important. Yeah.
I have one more detailed question concerning the hydropower, because if we speak about the hydropower, we speak about the money, because the flow is the money. If we want to increase the connectivity of rivers, then we have to take the money from turbines to the fish ponds. And do you pay any compensations for hydropower owners for that, or is it solved under the new water permits? How it works?
To get this through, I mean, this new legislation and a political agreement about energy in general. So it's a very political thing. It has been and still is. The thing is that the big guys like Vattenfall, Fortum, these really big companies, they have set aside 10 billion Swedish kronor, which is roughly, yeah, you understand, you know about Swedish kronor, for improvements of ecosystem services in hydropower, with hydropower stations. The thing is that will mainly go to the lawyers and the legal systems, which is quite expensive. Water legislation is always complicated and expensive in all countries, I think. And then to removal of dams and also building fauna passages in other dams. And then the agreement is to do as little as possible to the big ones up in the north, the big rivers, which are extremely important for Baltic salmon, for instance. So that is the problem. Then people say, oh gosh, these companies, they 10 billion Swedish kronor to environment. But the thing is that they the politicians have decided to reduce the tax on these companies. So in fact, they earn more on the reduction of tax than they invest in this. So it's a very political, tricky thing that has been going on. And I was involved by WWF together with River Keepers and Swedish Nature Conservation Association on lobbying within the government and in the parliament and everywhere. But we ended up with this system we have. But yeah, it's complicated. You can ask me, I can tell you a lot about dirty business in this.
Yes, it's time.